I'm gonna have to point a light in front of me and then one behind me as well, because I don't think they're more smarter, but they're smarter than it. This one wants to die on me. Don't worry, guys. Yeah.
The fire was dying. The forest was silent. Then, just beyond the trees, a figure watching. Unmoving, massive. Cameras were rolling. What they captured has sparked debate across the internet. Is it Bigfoot or something staged? A group of campers deep in the woods started filming after strange sounds circled their sight. What they captured that night just beyond the tree line has everyone asking the same question. Is this the clearest proof yet, or an elaborate setup? Something walked around their campsite all night. Not a bear, not a person, something on two legs. And they recorded it. Cali Bigfoots returned to their hotspot deep in the woods, a place they've visited for over 16 years. But this time, something was different. The sounds were clearer. The activity never stopped. What they caught might be their most disturbing find yet. Take a look at this.
Oh shit, you're right. There it is again. Whoa!
A deep growl tears through the quiet. It's close, too close. Their reaction says it all. Something was standing just beyond the light. Slow, focused, watching. They've recorded strange sounds before. Distant howls, sudden knocks, things being shuffled in the dark. But this time something stayed near their camp. All night, this footage says it all.
3D. Oh man, those are huge. What do you think? That's what I was looking at right there. Looks like a footprint to me. Going up or going down?
There's another deep one over here.
Looks down.
You kind of notice the pattern going down.
Yep, sure do. Yeah, exactly. No reason for that.
Is that a foot?
Yeah.
There, the toes.
Heel, the toes up here.
Oh yeah. Heel, toes right there?
Yep.
Shit.
Fresh tracks, deep, wide prints in soft earth. You can see the toes, the heel, the weight behind each step. The trail moves down slope, weaving past trees, leading straight toward their base. Later that night, the team sets up mics. Everyone goes quiet. The forest darkens. Then, movement. Here's what the camera actually captured.
Yeah. How did you get that? Yeah, there's a growl over there. I heard it growled at us right now. Yeah. God, I can't believe I'm hearing things this time around. Hey, I don't usually hear shit.
Maybe that bendazole is clearing out.
No, I still have hard hearing. Let me tell you all that music and high fevers and all as a kid. But no, I heard it, and it was like right there, right? He's looking at us.
Trees bent and broken. One snapped midway and placed carefully across two trunks. Another has a piece of braided string wrapped tight around it. No one brought string. And it wasn't there the day before.
Is that hair?
What the f***? You should be able to see some fur.
That's a string. Come here. What? That's a string. That's the type of string. See that?
Oh, it's tight.
Something tied a string. See it? Look at how it's twisted. It's string.
The arrangement isn't random. Some trees crisscross into arches. Others lean against one another. It's structured, deliberate. They move in further, A flat clearing, no natural debris, just woven limbs. It looks like a shelter, and it feels active. Watch this clip closely.
Last night was off the freaking hook.
It was crazy. Huh?
Something just kept walking. It wasn't fast walking, it was smart walking.
Yeah. And like
Try not.
huh?
Yep. It was trying not to be heard, even though we could hear it.
Yeah, they didn't know we happened.
Nope.
Yeah, I was telling your dad that up until 4:30.
The mic picks up faint footsteps, light, controlled, like something tiptoeing. Crunch, pause. Oh, crunch. It's not pacing, it's stalking, circling them in the dark. They didn't sleep. The sounds continued until 4:30 a.m., right as dawn started to break. Then, at exactly 7:17, the entire forest went silent. Not a single bird, not a frog, nothing. A stillness so unnatural, it left them shaken. In the daylight, they searched the perimeter. Flattened grass where something had sat. A worn path disappearing into the trees. Sticks arranged like doorways, trails they hadn't made. By midday, they revisited the strange structure. And this time, they saw more. High tree breaks, far above human reach. Layered limbs, braided twigs, and a hidden nook tucked under woven branches, like someone, or something, was watching from inside. They kept finding more. Another tree twisted mid-trunk, a second path leading away from the shelter, flanked by limbs shaped into an arch. And that same tight string wrapped around a different branch. No explanation. No people nearby. They followed the trail deeper. The forest got denser, quieter. Then, another sound. A crack in the brush. They stopped, waited. Nothing moved. The feeling never left. That heaviness, that pressure, like being followed without footsteps. Back at camp, they reviewed the audio. Every few minutes, steps, near the mics. Then silence. Then again, from another angle. It wasn't random. It was probing. Whatever it was, it stayed hidden. But it left signs. Big ones. They've experienced odd things here before. Lost time. Objects vanishing. Roars in the distance. But this night, it was different. Constant. Close. And smart. It wasn't wind. It wasn't wildlife. It was deliberate. This footage says it all.
Something was sitting right on that. Yeah, but last night was constant, just footsteps.
Something had been sitting there, right on that patch of flattened earth, just a few feet from where they slept. Something watched them all night long. So what was it? A curious animal? A guardian of the forest? Or something we're still not ready to name? Leave your thoughts below. Let us know what you think this was. Because out here, silence is never empty. Something moved behind her. Quiet, precise. And then, tap, right on the back of her head. This isn't a dramatization. It was caught on camera. And it happened at the same cemetery where, a year ago, a dark figure stepped from the woods. Dee returned. Same haunted stretch, same thick trees. Only this time, she brought a different plan. Camera over her shoulder, facing back, facing them. From the first step into the woods, it starts. Clicks, snaps, low movement through the brush, then silence. Fog rolls in fast, the air feels heavy, and the deeper she goes, the more it builds. That pressure, that watching feeling. She talks to the spirits near the graves. Nothing strange at first. But the woods beyond? They don't want her there. They warn her. Something dangerous, something she shouldn't follow. She does anyway. No paths, just shadow and sound. One light out front, one camera behind, eyes watching. She knows it. Take a look at this.
Where the hell did it go? What is watching me right now?
A tall black mass, standing in the trees. 1 second it's there, then it vanishes. No sound, no footsteps, just gone. She keeps walking, leaves small gifts. Colored rocks, bells, even tries blowing bubbles. Anything to stir a response. And she gets it. The bush behind her shifts. No wind, no animals, just a slow, deliberate move, as if something crouched, waiting. She flips the camera, still nothing visible, but the energy shifts, static, high alert. You can feel it. Then she turns the camera back. The angle catches it, not fully, but enough. Watch this clip closely.
What is that? Sounds like a bat. Alright, my loves, watch this white thing. It leans into me. What is that? I stand up, it backs up, moves away real fast. It's still there. Now watch, I'm gonna freeze frame this stupid thing. I don't know what it is. Look at it. It's moving behind me.
A pale shape leans toward her, hovers, then jerks back as she moves. You can freeze it. It's not a bug, not a glare. It's behind her, watching. She doesn't feel it, but something touched her hat. No warning, no sound, just pressure from behind. And she caught it. It doesn't stop. As she backs out of the trees, the clicks return. So do the eyes. This footage says it all.
Freaking eyeballs right there, dude. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna keep walking. Where'd he go? Still there, okay. I know you guys don't want to stare at my face, but this is the only... They're used to me facing. I'm pulling a fast in, if that makes any sense. Eyes are gone. The eyes are gone.
Twin eye shines, just off the path, high, still, blinking. Not a reflection from gear, not headlights. There are no roads here, and they don't move like animals. They vanish for a moment, then reappear, lower to the ground. Stalking. Still, she continues. Bushes shake, branches break behind her, but no footsteps, just that presence. Always behind. Tap, tap, tap. It mimics her, responds, follows, like it's playing. The deeper she goes, the louder it gets. Something big is walking near. No birds, no frogs, just heavy breathing. And those taps. Then, screech. Take a look at this.
Hello? What was that? That was a screech. Oh, it's just... Oh, God! Oh, my God! Okay.
A scream cuts through the trees, deep, unnatural. She stops, listens. Another noise, a growl, right after the screech. 2 things, maybe more. She tries to stay calm, but it's towering. And it's close. Her voice cracks. She apologizes out loud. She doesn't want to anger it, whatever it is. The camera shakes as she backs away. There's a final glance into the woods. One last presence. Something watching from a tall tree. Higher than it should be. Watch this part again.
Oh God, there's a head. Hi. That's tall.
Something tall. A head visible above the brush. And then it dips out of view. Quiet, deliberate. It was watching her leave. She leaves. Not running, but fast. Because this time, she felt it. And so did we. So what did she catch? A forest spirit? Something ancient? Or something far closer to what we call cryptids? Leave your take in the comments, because the camera doesn't lie. And when something touches you from behind, it means it was already too close. It was supposed to be just another quiet night in the woods. A couple, a campfire, and the kind of peace you only get deep in Bigfoot country. But the forest had other plans. Right from the start, it felt off. They were driving down the trail when they hit their first roadblock, literally. A bent tree stretched across the path, not broken by wind, but arched unnaturally, almost like it was placed. And then another. 2 strange tree bends, covering the trail right where they planned to set up camp. The kind of signs people in the Sasquatch community recognize instantly. But they kept going. When they reached the site, it was pitch black. The camera couldn't pick up anything, just darkness. The stars were gone. The woods around them were dead silent. No frogs, no insects, no birds, just that eerie black silence. And then, in the middle of nowhere, they found something else, a random satellite dish. No signal, no homes nearby. This footage says it all. Just sitting there, like it had no reason to be there at all.
Oh man.
There is no stars.
That camera's going crazy.
It is black. I
Oh,
mean,
look at this first tree bend there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Look, ain't that weird? Look how that is. And then not only that, so mind you, there was 2 trees blocking this road earlier that I had to move. You got that bent tree. Now look at this bent tree.
Oh my gosh.
That's covering the whole campground.
That's when the tension really started creeping in. They tried to settle in, lit a fire, set up the tent, joked around to keep things light. But the woods were closing in. The fire kept dying out. The flashlights were already going dim. Something wasn't right. Then came the first call, a playful attempt to mimic a Bigfoot whoop. And that's when they heard it. See for yourself. Here's what the camera actually captured: 2 sharp whistles.
How did that become the Bigfoot call,
What was that?
babe?
Did you hear that whistle?
Yes, I did.
There's another whistle. That was 2 whistles after I did the call.
Answering back from the woods. Then another. Not echoes, responses. Something out there was listening. And it didn't stop. Moments later, they started hearing footsteps. Slow at first, then fast. Like something circling the tent. Crunching twigs. Heavy movement. Then came the scream. Not once, but twice. High-pitched, human. It shattered the silence, and it didn't sound like any coyote. It came from the direction of their fire. A light flickered near it, even though no one was there. They couldn't tell if it was another person or something else. Take a look at this.
That was a scream in the woods.
Jerry.
That was a scream.
Okay, let's go.
Come on. Hold on. No, that was a person screaming. I thought I seen something moving by our fire. That confirms somebody's out here. That was screaming. That was a person.
They moved fast, trying to get back. But the trail didn't feel like the trail anymore. The path twisted. The trees seemed different. And back at camp, something was dragging. A loud shifting sound. Something heavy. That's when they decided it was time to go. Inside the tent, they tried to lay low, but the sounds returned. Closer this time, crunching leaves. Then a loud thud, like something hitting a tree. And finally, footsteps. Right outside the tent. They froze. Held their breath. Then another thump like a branch dropped or something slammed. Here's the moment it happened.
Listen. Listen. Hey, do you hear that?
He scrambled to get the camera. The flashlight wouldn't work. Then another growl, deep and guttural. Almost human. He described it later, once they were safe. It wasn't caught on camera, but he said it didn't sound like an animal. It was long, angry, and close. They ran, left almost everything, locked themselves in the truck, hearts racing. When they went back in the morning, nothing had been touched. No damage, no footprints. It was like nothing had happened, but they knew what they heard. Watch this clip closely.
This is the worst time. Come on, hurry. Get it. Are you serious? You don't have your phone?
I don't remember this story.
Here, just get in the truck and get the doors locked. I'll come back and get it. Huh? It's right over here. Come on. Just get in the truck. Get in the truck.
It was real. Something was there. Something watching, circling, testing them. The woods don't always welcome visitors. And when they don't, you feel it. What would you have done? Stayed in the tent or run at the first scream? Drop your thoughts in the comments. A remote path, quiet woods. Then something pale moves in the trees. Not white, not gray. It was soft, almost creamy, vanilla-colored. That's what all three witnesses said. They didn't know each other's stories yet, but their descriptions matched exactly. First, a man walking alone sees it. No warning, no sound. Just there, staring at him. His eyes catch the shape before his brain can catch up. Tall, still, watching. He locks in. It doesn't move. The eyes? Big, black, alien. He's frozen, measuring it with his hunter's instinct. Then, gone.
I had the impression that it was looking right at me. It was whitish, yellowish, and vanilla color. And it looked like I was looking at something like about here, above the head type of thing. And the eyes were huge, elliptical shapes, pretty big. And I looked at it. I had no feeling of fear. It was just, to me, it was different.
No crack of branches, no retreating figure, just vanished behind the trees. He retraces his steps, checks again. Nothing. He wasn't scared, just stunned. That thing wasn't shaped like us. The head was round, no neck, no shoulders, smooth fur all over. The color stuck with him. Not brown, not white, vanilla. They line up someone in the same spot, same height, same size. The original figure, bigger, wider. Its eyes were massive, too high up for a human. The reenactment makes it real. You can feel the weight of what he saw.
It was about that size, maybe just a little bit smaller, and just where the top of his head is, round like that. And the black eyes were like right in that section like that.
How big were the black eyes compared to his eyes?
Bigger than the black spot he's got right there. It was maybe 1.5 times size that, 2 times the size of that. That's how big they were. They're that black.
And the head, how much bigger was the head than his head?
The head was where he had his hands before. What was it, like maybe 2 inches wider on each side.
Minutes later, 2 more witnesses, this time on e-bikes, roll through the same trail. They're not looking for anything, just passing through. Then motion, big, broad, pale. One of them stares long enough to see it move straight down the path. No sway, no turn, just forward, like it had a destination. She tries to make it human, fails, it disappears into the woods. Watch this clip closely. Her riding partner didn't see it clearly, but he saw something, just enough to confirm something large and pale was ahead of them.
And I tried to get around her to see down there to see what I was looking at, because something was down there. I couldn't see any features, but it was big and white, and I thought, well, God, who is down there? You know, what is that? But I could not see any features of whatever was down there. And about the time we got to this puddle, or just a little bit further, whatever was down there was not there anymore. So I definitely saw something down there. I couldn't tell what it was, but confirming what she had seen and observed, something was down there.
Later, they compare notes. Same shape, same color, same direction. Timing? Within 15 to 20 minutes of each other. But the locations were 1 mile apart. That means whatever it was, it moved fast. Or there's more than one. This footage says it all. The team tracks where it might have crouched, right near the downed tree. A laser points out the exact angle. Nothing blocked its face. The dog starts alerting, tail stiff, nose locked to the ground. Right there.
Look at the dog. The dog is on something right here. Yeah, good. She was alerting. Look, she's on something right there. What is it, Whiskey? What is it? What is it? The dog was like going
nuts right here.
Yeah, like really sniffing hard.
Rustled up too. I don't think anybody's crossed through here.
Something was there. You can see it in her behavior. That kind of focus only comes when a dog smells something real. Could it have just slipped away again? The forest was thick. The rain had come since. Tracks were hard to hold, but they found matted leaves, impressions too wide and deep to ignore. Not proof, but close. This wasn't just one person seeing something strange. 3 people, 3 different times. Same description, and none of them wanted to believe it. That color, vanilla, stuck in all their minds. So what moved through those woods that day? Was it just one creature, or more? Let us know what you think. Could this be the clearest pattern yet in Bigfoot sightings? They weren't expecting it, not like this. Mo Sargi and his team were deep in the woods of South Carolina, hunting shadows. Tall trees stretched in every direction, dirt paths soaked from the rain, fog curling low. You could almost forget why they were out there, until it all changed. Something felt wrong. They noticed it early on. Birds weren't singing. No frogs, just silence. That kind of silence that presses on your chest. Then they found it. A footprint. Huge. Too deep for a person. No tread, no claw marks. Just massive. A step, and then another, like something had just walked through only minutes before. They pushed deeper into the woods. Cameras rolling. One of the guys looked nervous already. The trail led them to an old cemetery. Abandoned, overgrown, leaning gravestones half swallowed by vines. No animals, no sound. Just the wind whispering like something was watching. Then it happened. A growl. Short, low, deep. It came from the trees behind them. The kind of sound that shuts down every logical thought in your head. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't a bear. It felt like a warning. One of them instinctively reached for his sidearm. The camera jolted. You could hear it. The tension. The confusion. They weren't imagining it. Here's what the camera actually captured.
Whatever is here comes after you, right?
What the?
What?
Shh. Stop moving. That was a fucking growl.
That growl cut through the forest like a blade. Nobody moved for a second. They just stood there, listening, eyes wide, breathing hard. Then it hit again, rustling, Then something tall and dark darted through the brush. Not fully visible, but there. Panic broke the stillness. The team scattered, voices overlapping, flashlights bouncing. But the cameras kept rolling. Behind them, movement, sharp, upright. Definitely not a four-legged animal. It ran like a person but moved wrong. Heavy, controlled. Take a look at this.
What the? What the hell is that? What is that?
What is that?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What is that?
Guys, that's a Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot.
It's furry. It's furry.
Yo!
It's got fur on it. I can see with my eyes. It's got fur.
Something moved through the trees, fast, on two legs. The shot's shaky, but you can see it, briefly. Something black, tall, just past the frame before the camera could lock on, and then, gone. They followed the trail, half from instinct, half from fear. Branches snapped. Something had barreled through. They weren't chasing anymore. They were trying to understand what just happened. That's when they saw it. Another footprint. Pressed deep into the riverbank. Just one. No others around. Watch this clip closely.
He stepped right here.
Yo, that's a huge footprint.
Holy sh!
What the hell?
Oh,
Bro.
that is crazy.
You like sank in there. Let me try.
Yeah.
Oh, what the? That's so deep.
That print, it shouldn't be there. Too far from the others. Nothing leading in or out. Just one giant foot pressed into the mud like the creature had stopped there and vanished. No drag marks, no scat, just gone.
That's where he. Oh, so he went that way. I don't want to keep chasing this.
I
yeah.
don't think so.
No.
Let's get at some point in time. It might try to double back on it.
That's when it got colder. Not the air, just the feeling. The kind that makes your spine itch, like something was circling, watching them from both sides. The team started backing out. They were done. Weapons drawn, lights flicking in every direction. This footage says it all.
This is the end of the video. I do want to come back here one day and camp out the night, but I want more guns, honestly. What we just saw really did scare me. It shook me. Because, like, guys, we literally just saw a figure with fur all over it running through the forest.
The camera caught it again, just for a split second. A shadow shifting in the trees. You have to look close, but it's there. Something big, watching, silent, unmoving. They didn't talk much on the way out. No jokes, no laughter, just silence. The kind you leave behind when you've seen something you can't explain.
If that truly is Bigfoot and not a bear, then we're actually in serious danger. So next time I come back here, I need to bring more artillery. We need to bring a tank.
Something that shouldn't be there. Was it Bigfoot? Some old spirit? Something that lives in the forgotten places of the world? All they know is they weren't alone out there. And whatever it was, growled first. So what do you think? Was this a Sasquatch encounter? Or did they walk into something much older and much more dangerous? Red Cloud Canyon, still snow-covered and quiet, was the setting. The Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization was back, this time for a night investigation between two major Bigfoot sighting locations, Dry Fork and Flaming Gorge. The snow hadn't melted off completely, and the team stopped often to scan for tracks. No prints at first, but the woods felt alive. Their path was surrounded by thick forest, and deeper in, Skinwalker country. The kind of place where stories overlap, where Bigfoot sightings and tales of skinwalkers blur. Locals say there's no link, but when both things keep showing up in the same places, you start asking questions. Cold air, dark trees, and silence since. That silence was shattered by a noise. Something moved just out of sight. They had stopped to catch their breath. Then it happened. A step, then another. Not their own. Something was walking near them, staying just outside flashlight range. Here's what the camera actually captured.
Somewhere.
Some animals out here with us.
Yep. Heard a move.
I started again. Something's walking up that way. It's dark out.
The sound came again, off to the right. One investigator thought the other had made it, but no, it came from the trees. Then again, something was circling, staying low, quiet, smart. They weren't dealing with a lost deer. They turned their lights on, IR illumination barely cutting through the dark. But it was there, walking around them, calculated. Take a look at this.
Yeah, some kind of an animal just skirted us where we're standing now.
Soft movements, but they heard it. It skirted their position, barely audible, but unmistakable. They headed toward the sound. No crashing branches, no panic, just something moving, as if to remind them, you're not alone here. Then they found a kill, a deer leg, fresh, hair still attached, no drag marks, no claw tears, no tooth marks, just the remains, oddly clean. It didn't look like a coyote kill, too neat, too quiet, and no signs of a struggle. They kept going. The brush got thick. It was the kind of place where something could be 15 feet from you and you'd never see it. They looked for eye shine. Nothing. But the feeling lingered. They were exposed. They knew it. Something could strike from either side, and they'd never hear it coming. Watch this clip closely.
Some type of an animal. Not saying it's a Bigfoot, but we've had an animal completely circle us while we've been here.
More movement. It circled again. Not fast, not sloppy, like it was calculating each step. One investigator guessed it used the sound of a passing plane to mask its movement. Smart, deliberate, and then a sound, a vocalization. Not loud, not dramatic, but chilling, a call, faint from deep within the canyon. This footage says it all.
And I hate to say it, but it's like your damn Finding Bigfoot scream.
They heard it again. A distant scream. It didn't sound like a known animal. The call echoed up the canyon wall. Not close, but not far enough to ignore. And the direction? Exactly where they were headed. As they returned to camp, a footprint appeared in the soft mud. Around 14 inches long. Not fresh, but visible. Full heel-to-toe depression. Something heavy had stepped there when the ground was soft.
Yeah, it looks like something stepped there when it was really soft. Will you point the toes in the heel of it?
Absolutely. You got your heel.
With your finger, actually.
Heel's back around here.
There weren't others like it nearby. Just the one. Like it had stood there and watched. Whatever was out there knew they were there. It stayed hidden, stayed careful. No growls, no rush. Just a presence in the trees, moving with them, just out of reach. Not threatening, not shy, just watching. So what do you think? Were they being tracked by a curious Sasquatch, or something more territorial? And why did it never show itself? One thing's for sure, it wasn't alone, and neither were they. It started with silence, broken by the static of a lost radio. Willie had gone missing. The crew was in the middle of Tiger Valley, deep woods, thick fog, no clear paths. His radio was found lying in the brush, but no Willie. That alone set the tone. Something wasn't right. Not at all. See for yourself. This footage says it all.
Willie? Hello? Hello? This ain't good. Willie? Willie? I should see him. Oh no. Look here. This is Willie's radio. Oh no. Finding Willie's radio means he was out here, but where's Willie? This is not good. Jeff.
The team scrambled. You could hear it in their voices. Urgency, confusion, and real fear. Willie had called in, saying he saw red eyes behind the pines. Then, nothing. Just dead air. His flashlight was found next. Not dropped gently. It looked like it had been thrown, or lost in a panic. This wasn't just someone getting turned around in the dark. Something chased him, something that made a seasoned tracker run. They retraced his last known path, sweeping the forest line. That's when they spotted the broken branches, bent twigs, signs of a struggle, and then Willie's bandana, torn and left behind. That's when it clicked. Whatever was out there had pushed him deep into the trees. Take a look at this.
I think he went that way. Let's go get him. Willie said he's seen red eyes behind the pines. Bill, you're pulling security. All right. I'll tell you what has red eyes out here. Smoke wolves. And if Willie's out there by himself with smoke wolves, this could be the start.
Smoke wolves. That's what the team whispered about. Red eyes, stealthy movement, and total silence until it's too late. Could that be what Willie saw? Whatever it was, it left him twisted in fear. The crew caught gunfire in the distance. Real shots, rounds being fired. The sound cracked through the woods. They bolted toward it, thinking the worst. Then, they found him. Willie was on the ground, still alive, barely speaking. His eyes locked on something, breathing erratic. He was pointing toward the trees, but couldn't get the words out. His gear was scattered. He had lost control, even wet himself from fear. That's not something you fake. Not from a guy like Willie. Here's the moment it happened.
Son of a bitch! Clear weapon, Buck! Give me that, give me that. Okay. Will! Willie? Is he breathing? He's breathing. Hang on. Easy, Bill. Easy. Son of a bitch, Will! Give him a second, You okay, dude? Willie.
Yeah, you don't look right.
Willie.
He looks like a wild.
You're all right,
Willie.
you're all right,
Easy,
you're all right.
Easy, Willie.
You're all right, Will.
It's your bruise.
You're all right, man. It's all right.
Easy, dude.
We got you.
Even after they found him, he wasn't really there. Shaken, like he saw something he couldn't process. His pupils weren't right. He was reaching for a weapon even after they told him he was safe. That's not just adrenaline. That's trauma.
Willie! Boy! We didn't get an answer. Let's stay right on him. Let's go.
Come on, get the help to her.
I see a broke stick right here.
Good. You still got his track up there, Buck?
Yeah, it's not much of a track anymore.
Yeah, here's a broken limb right here.
When they asked what he saw, he finally whispered, "They're here. Multiple. Not one creature. Plural." They got him into the truck, hauling him back to base camp. But even then, he kept looking back. Watching the tree line, you could feel it, like the woods were watching too. This footage says it all. Whatever happened that night, it wasn't normal. The Travel Channel's Mountain Monsters crew has seen a lot. But this was different.
All right, okay, yeah. Thank you. All right, grab his arm. Hook his arm. Come on.
Somebody said, boy, his horse is beating like hell, Buck.
We're going to have to get him out of here in the base camp. We need to get Willie out of here and back to base camp.
Jump in there, Jeff.
Hey, guys, we'll come back and get you.
We'll come back and get you all later. We'll get the hell to base camp, though, bro.
Something got close. Close enough to rattle Willie to his core. And not just him. Everyone felt it. The woods weren't empty. And what sticks? The red eyes behind the pines. That wasn't random. That's classic predator behavior. Wait in the dark, lure someone deeper, then strike when they're alone. And Willie? He followed something out there, something he thought he could handle. But it didn't go that way. Here's what the camera actually captured. No creature was clearly seen on film.
Is that Willie's light? Willie? Willie! Oh! Did you hear that? I don't know where that came from. Tell you what, wide open field like this, something could be on us in a hurry. Let's go back and get the side by side. Let's go, we gotta move. I need to get over to that light. But after hearing—
But you don't always need a face to feel the fear. The broken brush, the gunfire, the physical state of Willie, that's evidence. The kind that doesn't need embellishment. When a hardened woodsman breaks down, that tells you everything. So what do you think happened in Tiger Valley? Was it smoke wolves, something older, or something unknown? Willie saw something. That's not up for debate. But what exactly was it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because whatever's out there, it's still out there. Deep in the Northumbrian border country, something strange is happening. Sticks, snapped trees, unusual formations, stacked in ways nature can't easily explain. These aren't just fallen branches. They lean, they wedge, they point. It's like they've been placed. Take a look at this.
They all seem to come at the one point, don't they? Or roughly the same point. They all seem to wedge more or less in the same place.
A tight cluster of angled sticks, all broken toward a center point. Different trees, different directions, but all aiming at the same spot. Could this be a shelter? It's not random. The alignment feels deliberate, almost like someone or something built it. Further along the trail, more of these break formations start to appear. Some old, weathered, snapped long ago. Others look fresh. It's quiet here. Too quiet. Every step feels like walking into a story already in progress. This footage says it all.
A little bit more of the debris. You've got the definite, heel area, which is quite low down. In this area here, it seems to...
On the forest floor, a large impression stands out. A clear trackway cutting through the undergrowth. There's a heel mark, wide and deep. It's not just a soft patch in the dirt. It's shaped. There's weight behind it, like something big crossed here. The trail keeps revealing more. Snapped limbs, heavy breaks, tall tree limbs cracked at impossible heights. Some of them way above human reach. A 9-foot break here, another one even higher. Could the wind do this? Could people? The higher you look, the stranger it gets. Watch this clip closely.
Another 2 or 3 foot above me. Now I would say it was about at least 9 foot. You've got break there, another one there.
Branches snapped and dangling, scattered like a breadcrumb trail through the woods. There's no saw marks, no sign of human work, just raw, torn wood. Multiple breaks across different types of trees. Conifers, birches, some snapped low, some snapped near the top. The deeper the search goes, the more signs appear. 2 trees, bent unnaturally, arched over each other with nothing pinning them down. Another snapped branch carefully laid across them. It's like a marker, or a warning. Here's the moment it happened.
I mean, look at that, man. You've even got like a small tree there, which is dead. But you've also got this other branch which has been snapped over.
More breaks, more toppled trees wedged in strange ways. In one spot, at least 10 breaks can be seen at once, all within a small area. Stacked, leaning, balanced, almost as if someone arranged them. It doesn't look accidental.
I mean, what could have caused those 2 trees to bend in an arc all the way around to there?
Even more curious, one branch hangs in midair, out of place, no clear tree it came from. Could it have been dragged, slide into place? It doesn't match anything nearby. It feels placed. Take a look at this.
In this channel here, this ditch, and what looks like a break. It's a branch stuck in the ground, but it's been snapped off at the top.
In the middle of a ditch, a snapped branch is jammed into the ground, standing upright. There's fresh signs of animal tracks nearby, and the area is clearly rich with food. A fox even makes an appearance, running the trail, pausing to check if it's being followed. This isn't just about tree breaks. It's about patterns. It's about the question no one can answer. Who or what is moving through these forests, leaving signs behind?
I think it was snapped somewhere else and just hanging 12 foot up.
Could this be the work of the elusive wild man, the one local legends have whispered about for centuries? The deeper you look, the more the forest speaks. Snaps, bends, tracks, and maybe, just maybe, it's not all in the imagination. What do you think? Coincidence? Or is something out there shaping the woods in its own way? It happened deep in northern Minnesota, close to the Canadian border. Rough, uninhabited land where winter locks everything away. An anonymous researcher, Jerry Trips, along with his professional guide, stumbled onto something remarkable, a 3-mile trackway, a continuous path of what appeared to be Sasquatch footprints. The prints were huge, 17 inches long, 6.5 inches wide. Every time the path approached a downed tree, the creature would veer towards it, stepping sideways along the trunk, as if it preferred walking on the trees. The tracks weren't random. They were in line, perfectly aligned, step after step, moving through territory far beyond human reach. Watch the struggle.
What it takes for me to get through here.
This is over my waist. And he's just stepping. I can't even make the step without dragging my feet.
Not even close.
Up and over, up and over, up and over.
There's what it takes a human to get through.
This wasn't a place people casually explored. It's a 5-mile by 5-mile bog, nearly impossible to access except in deep winter. The team had to cross 6 beaver dams and create their own land routes to get there. They saw tracks from all kinds of animals, but nothing like this, nothing that matched.
Up and over, up and over, up and over. In line, perfectly in line, every step.
This is the best.
For the humans, it was brutal. Up and over fallen logs, dragging their feet through waist-deep snow. But the Sasquatch trail? It moved effortlessly, floating over the same terrain, step after impossible step. The researcher followed the prints south for nearly 3 miles. The trail stopped in an open patch of snow. He suspected the creature had bedded down there as snow covered the rest of the path. Turning back, he followed the prints the other way. 2 more miles. At one point, the trail circled back on itself, then veered off again. What struck him most? Wherever it could, the creature chose to sidestep along downed trees. Always watch the impossible stride.
Sideways, see this branch under here? Hope you can see it. Step sideways. Oh, look at this. So here's where I step. The next step, way up there.
One clip shows it clearly. A step onto a log, then the next step, impossibly far ahead. The gap? Over 6 feet. Even a 6'2" man couldn't stretch that far. The trail had no exit, no ending. It just vanished. Stride lengths varied, sometimes 15 inches, sometimes over 55 inches, depending on the terrain. Yet the pattern remained in line, almost perfectly straight.
I can't even, I'm 6'2", I can't even, look at this. That's full stretch. And it was all the way up there.
Some tracks showed the big toe protruding slightly forward. Others displayed the mid-tarsal break, a distinct pressure ridge across the middle of the foot, consistent with other suspected Sasquatch prints. Review the detailed track.
Basically, you can see a slight right to left, but basically it's almost completely in line, and they vary from 15 to 30, 55.
These weren't isolated signs. The mid-tarsal break, the wide foot, the squared toes, they matched other known Bigfoot tracks. And the team had been here before. In 2009, after clearing a beaver dam, they had an intense night. Loud sounds, heavy movement. The next morning, they found a massive scat deposit on top of the rebuilt beaver dam, about the size of 5 soda cans. A sign left behind. Then in 2011, while snowmobiling across a remote frozen lake, they came across another trail. It ended at a steep, almost unclimbable hill. As they approached, they saw snow slide down, as if something had just climbed up. Determined, 2 of the men scaled the hill using climbing techniques. What they found at the top was shocking. Deer and moose carcasses stacked like bait. It looked like a trap. Animals would naturally follow the easiest path, straight to the bottleneck of the hill, where something could ambush them.
It piqued their interest. The next, last February, they were snowmobiling and they came across a large path that went across this remote lake.
One of the most unnerving encounters came later at a lakeside cabin, the only one on a 6-mile-long lake. That night, the team shined powerful lights up at the satellites overhead. After about an hour, one team member stepped off the dock toward the cabin. Suddenly, a large boulder, about the size of a basketball, crashed into the water between him and the others. Moments later, another rock hit. They searched with lights but saw nothing. Watch yourself.
One of the guys gets off and then moves over to the cabin, steps off the dock. And when he steps off the dock, a large boulder type rock, maybe the size of a basketball, gets hurled to the trees.
The rocks kept coming. Another one hurled over their heads, crashing nearby. They heard whoops, wood knocks, more rocks thrown, targeted, deliberate. The rocks they later found were too large for a person to throw any meaningful distance. This wasn't random. Someone or something was watching. Years of encounters, strange structures, massive footprints, tracks across frozen lakes, rocks thrown in the dead of night. It's all there for those willing to go deep enough. Facebook. Find Bigfoot shared this discovery. A record that still stands as one of the longest continuous Sasquatch trackways ever documented. If you've seen something, if you've followed strange tracks, drop your story below. The forest remembers, and something still walks these places. It hit fast, a shift in the air, like the forest suddenly woke up. You know that feeling, like being watched but no one's around. That's how it started. The guy heads out to a spot he's camped before. Same trail, same creek, same cave.
It's literally sand converting into rocks. That was really nice. I would have loved walking on sand. Imagine if this was all a beach, that would have been a lot better. Not gonna lie, I think I found another way that would have helped me a little better than this angle.
But this time, the forest wasn't quiet. It was waiting. The pink children's shoes on the ground, no explanation. The slack line stretched up the cliff, not there last time. And then the sulfur smell, rotten, sharp, like something marking territory. Something wild. See for yourself.
It's so spooky over here. It's so quiet.
I know, right?
Like, you don't hear anything on this side at all. It smells weird. You smell that?
Yeah, what is that?
It smells like sulfur. I didn't smell that the first time. If there is sulfur here, you would have probably smelt it last time too.
Sulfur, yeah, 100%.
You smell that? It's kind of sulfuric.
Yeah.
Almost smells like a like a skin foot to go fart or something. I don't even know.
He tries climbing. First attempt. He slips. Something shrieks from the top. Not an owl, not a coyote. Too sharp. Too big. He backs off. Leg shaking. Tries again. Second time. It happens again.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. How am I gonna get down? Holy shit, I'm actually like freaking out right now, guys. What the fuck was that? What was that? What was that? Ah.
Same spot. Same sound. Louder. He panics. The rope snags his ankle. He drops. Hard. His leg twists. Pain flashes through him. But worse, something's moving above. It's close. Here's what the camera actually captured.
I literally tripped and like bent my leg back. The rope just tied around my freaking leg. Oh. Holy shit. I can't do it.
He finds a hardened puddle. Smells like urine, but thick, gooey, placed, and fresh. The camera picks up his breathing, fast, shaky, then a screech, long, ripping through the trees. Something's up that ridge, watching, waiting. He starts talking to it, like it's a person. Who's up there? But it's not a person. You can hear it in his voice. He's trying to believe that, but his gut knows better. Take a look at this.
I'm getting attacked by like moths and stuff. Jesus. I'm getting such an uncomfortable feeling. Who's there? Holy shit. What's that? Holy shit. I'm gonna go after it. No.
He climbs higher, night vision on. Moths hit his face. The scream comes again, closer this time. He falls. Rope lashes his leg again. He groans in pain, downhill now, fast. But the scream doesn't stop, neither does the movement. At the bottom, he catches his breath. "I think I just found its home," he says. And he's right. There's no sound like that unless something's protecting something. Later, back near base, he and Angela regroup, both of them shaken. She went inside the cave alone. He tried climbing. Both heard voices, chatter, movement. Even now, something is still trailing them. Owls mimic, but not like that. Watch this clip closely. The hoots are circling, one to the left, then behind, then right on top of them. They know this isn't random. They say Bigfoot can mimic calls. Owls, coyotes, even voices. He's limping now, flashlight shaking. Keeps hearing things, catches a figure peeking from the ridge, again. Same place, it's guarding that cave. He's not going back, not until sunrise. And maybe not even then. This footage says it all.
Yeah, are you good?
I'm not really. I'm good, man. Reach.
Yep.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Jesus.
Fuck me.
Angela stumbles out, pale, shaking. "Something's in there," she says. And you can tell, she's not being dramatic. She's trying not to cry. Neither of them is okay. They both saw something, heard something, and it wasn't alone. They limp back to camp. Coyotes howl nearby. The path they took earlier? Blocked now, as if the forest shifted behind them, as if something didn't want them coming back. The video ends with silence. No explanation, just fear. And the feeling that whatever was out there, it's still watching. What do you think was waiting on that cliff? Let us know below. So what do you see? A creature lurking in silence, or just clever timing and shadows? Let us know in the comments. Hit like if this one gave you chills, and subscribe for more real investigations into the unexplained. Because one day, a hoax and the real thing might look exactly the same.